expertise is in bar food. So
Do you see with when people are with the Super Bowl, I feel like people tried to do too much. It's also nice to have that friend. Like my brother has a friend who works for Lay's potato chips, so he's always able to get like something that's coming to the store soon, or he's able to
no,
put together like a chips platter. It's always nice to have one of those friends that
yeah,
has some kind of hookup.
yeah, that is true. That is true. I had a friend a couple of years ago who had a hookup with an energy drink. Some energy drink group. I can't even remember what it was. It wasn't one of the big ones like Red Bull or anything, and had cases and cases of it. And they brought them over for the party and so forth. So hookups help a lot. And also a reminder for people: bring ice to people's parties. You can never go wrong by bringing ice. Everyone always needs extra ice. I run out of ice every year, and I have an ice maker in my freezer and a separate one on my counter. But it's just easier. Just grab a bag of ice and wait. Stop at the gas station or somewhere. You never go wrong.
I'd actually advise people to go and buy the bag of ice from Sonic with the mini ice cubes. I feel like I've ripped people for buying that, but it's a little underrated thing. I don't like huge ice cubes ruining my drinks.
That's true too. That's true. But the bigger the ice cube, the slower it melts. So I mean, I get it from both angles, but yeah, and you want clean ice too. I don't really trust all these gas stations with these giant, those huge like 20-ounce bags of ice. Those are more for like keeping a cooler or cans cool. But as far as like putting them in your drink, it's not it's all machine cut, so it's not really the cleanest thing to put in your drink. That makes a difference as well.
Yeah, the gas station ice, bad call. One of the main reasons why a lot of gas stations get ice stolen from them on the regular. As far as looking at the Super Bowl, what are some prop bets that you've seen early on here that you like?
Well, there's a ton of them this year. It seems like these lists keep growing and growing and growing. I've heard that. I know the Westgate in Las Vegas had their big unveiling of the numbers on Thursday night, and a lot of people jumped on some numbers right away. One of the numbers that jumped very fast was total number of kickoff returns by both teams. It was at under 6, and it dropped now to 5.5. And the current price is plus 200 on the over. So people aren't expecting a lot of returns. They're expecting a lot of touchbacks, which is interesting because playing indoors, the two really good kickers, Gostkowski's kicking for New England, Stephen Hauschka is for the Seahawks. They're both pretty decent kickers, and they both have some pretty good coverage units. So I could see where that's drawn a lot of money with the under. That wasn't really something I looked at. In fact, a funny story last year, I had a prop bet on will the first kickoff by then Denver Broncos kicker Matt Prater result in a touchback. And I bet yes. I think it was a plus 130. Every one of his kickoffs had gone for a touchback through the playoffs. He had 12 kickoffs. All 12 were touchbacks.
Yeah. Everybody
was kind of saying, well, that might be because of the thin air in Denver. I mean, the guy does have a big leg, but it was, mostly Denver. So everybody's saying, well, in kicking in cooler weather, he might not have such a strong of a leg. Well, He doesn't get a chance to kick off until the second half. Ironically enough, his kickoff gets taken back by Percy Harvin for 6. So I end up losing that in a glorious fashion amongst a lot of other bets that I actually lost last year. Super Bowl did not go my way at any point last year with that Broncos meltdown from the get-go.
Do you have after what happened last year, and you felt pretty good with your bets going into last year, and they didn't go well. Do you have a sickening feeling going into this year, or are you feeling more confident that what happened last year was, it's not going to happen this year?
No, I put every Super Bowl in the past after it ends. And I've had I had a decent track record when I was younger in the Super Bowl. The last few years have been kind of iffy. I think the biggest Super Bowl win I had over the last several years was New Orleans. And I cashed in very well in that game, props and having the side in that game as well. So, I won't, even though it's Seattle returning to the Super Bowl, I'm not going to be gun shy on anything based off of last year's results.
As far as prop bets, what was the goofiest one that you have seen so far?
It's funny. Some of the goofier prop bets that I've seen actually had some really good numbers attached to them. There's always the national anthem prop, which is something I've cashed, I would say, 3 of the last 4 years looking at the history of it. Idina Menzel, or as what is it, John Travolta called her, what did she call her? I can't even remember. He completely goofed her name up at Oscars last year, but she's singing the national anthem this year. She already did it at a Major League Baseball All-Star game last year, and it clocked in exactly at 2 minutes and 1 second, which is where the number's set at this year. The over, you had to lay 130 on. And I actually think that's a pretty good bet. I would like that one to go over the total number. She won't be rushing like she did the first time. If you listen to it, you can look it up on Google. There's a video of her singing it, and she rushed through it at the beginning. She was, you could tell she was nervous, but I think now she's had that experience. They're going to be indoors. It won't be like last year where it was outdoors in cool weather. They'll be inside. She's got tremendous range. You can tell she likes to phrase a little bit with her songs and really stretch things out. So I think that's going to go way over 2 minutes. So that's something I would definitely look at.
Well, when you're doing the, as far as, the national anthem, you do go on YouTube and look up their previous performances and see what they, and
absolutely. Looking back over the years, it was hard last year. Last year was opera singer Renee Fleming, and there was no video. She had done the national anthem before, but there was no video of it, and no one had any actual time of it. And then looking back at other artists, there were some that had video, some had never done it before. Christina Aguilera was the infamous one because she goofed up on a word, and with that goof up, they landed right on where the number was set at 1 minute and 54 seconds. I remember actually cashing the under on that. So I got it at 152, and we were all checking. It's funny. I have myself and a friend of mine will sit in front of the TV, and we'll have everyone in the party be quiet while we have our phones on stopwatch mode to count it, and then look on our computers to see if we know what exactly cashed in or not. So,
it's amazing how many nail biters there are that aren't involved in the game with the Super Bowl, with how many things people bet on. Well, we're going to go ahead and take our first break here in hour number 2. We'll be right back here with Alex Smith, talk some more Super Bowl bets, and we'll be back here on the Bob Sullivan Show here on LateNightSportsRadio.com.
trouble comes around, so you just never try to find an easy way. Life is just for real, don't try to run, you know. Sometimes things gonna change the way. You just remember you are the way. Trouble comes around to you.
Who the hell can wait till morning? Talk now at latenightsportsradio.com.
Where I come from is in
LateNightRadio.com. I am joined here by Alex B. Smith of AXSmithSports.com and KellyInVegas.com. Alex, is this, as a gambler, is this the most exciting week/day of the year for gamblers?
It starts off a busy week. I wouldn't say it's the most exciting week. I think my favorite week of the year, as far as from a betting perspective, is the first weekend of college football, because it tails off with the end of NFL preseason, and the opening numbers for the NFL regular season are becoming finalized, and then you have college football. I think that's the most exciting weekend from a gambling point. But
Bob, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay,
yeah, I'm here.
Sorry. As far as, the gambling goes, how important is it to stay level-headed with this? And, what are some teaser bets that people, that are out there that, people might fall for, that it's going to cause some problems?
It's huge. It's crucial to stay, focused and realize, like I said, I say it to everybody, this is one game. This is one game in the microcosm of sports, and it pays out just as well as, I just cashed in an under on the Pro Bowl, and it pays out, the games pay the same. So don't get, you can't get swept into the stardom that is the Super Bowl. There's a lot of crazy prop bets. There's a lot of smart prop bets, if you do your homework, but there are some sucker bets, a lot of things like, will a game go into overtime? Now, I've bet this a couple of times because I legitimately thought two teams were